All right, beauties, it is time for our yearly marathon palette declutter. You guys seem to really love the marathon style of this. I do keep all of my palettes, all of my makeup in these little dressers right here. I do actually get these for pretty inexpensively from Walmart, and hubby and I just build them. I kind of store my palettes by size. I know some people store them by brand. Of course, if I have multiples from a brand, I store them collectively together. But you'll see that I kind of start from mini palettes. I go down, to the next bigger size, so on and so on. And then I have like all of my luxury palettes together, all larger palettes together, all of my Nomad Cosmetics and my Gourmande Girls palettes together. We're gonna dive in. All right, beauties, here is an overview of my palette collection. Just noting too, this does not include my luxury, very high-end, expensive palettes. I have already done that one, so I will link that for you guys. And as a quick disclaimer, even though I have purchased some of the items from Gourmande Girls and from Nomad Cosmetics, I am just going to say if it is Nomad Cosmetics or Gourmande Girls, then it was gifted in PR. And I think I'm going to start right here, and I will do ColourPop into minis and then kind of work my way down, I think. And then when it comes to Nomad and Gourmande, I will not be decluttering those particular palettes, but I will open them up very quickly and just kind of show you guys them and also kind of let you know, maybe which ones are my favorites, things like that. So we are going to dive in. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you do enjoy this type of content. All right, beauties, I'm going to start with ColourPop and the mini palettes, and we will kind of move from there. First up is Sage the Day from ColourPop. I will be holding on to this. It's a me palette for sure. It's got some depth in it, a lighter, kind of inner corner shade. Of course, I love greens. And this is a really, really beautiful color story, you guys. They have some really beautiful shades in here. I will say, and I've said this for many, many years, I do not have any current ColourPop palettes, so if you can speak differently to kind of long wearability, please let me know and let me know which palette I should try. But my only complaint with ColourPop has been that I just feel like they don't wear well, and that's kind of super important to me. But because I love this color story so much, and I like to travel with this and stuff like that, I will hold on to this one. Next up, I'll go ahead and grab the Mandalorian palette. I'm for sure holding on to this one as well. This one's more of a kind of nostalgic. It just evokes a beautiful memory for me because my mama loves the Mandalorian. This one runs along the same lines as Sage the Day. And while they're quite similar, they are different enough that I feel like I can keep both of them, but together they are beautifully compatible together. And again, I like that there's some depth here. There are some really beautiful special shades in here. And of course, it's a me palette through and through. So definitely holding on to this one as well. And I love these for travel. Next up, I have the ColourPop Over the Cocoon. If y'all can see a piece of tape right here, just ignore it, okay? Just pretend like you do not see it. All right. Basically, I hit record and I come around here and I sit my big behind down on the chair and I hope that I'm still recording the entire time. This one I feel like I can let go. I don't often reach for these, and I know that I have a Wet n Wild one that I actually feel like I want to keep, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. And me decluttering things, you guys, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that it's horrible quality or anything like that. I just am somebody that is quite mindful, and I want to have a kind of minimally curated collection. I want to know what I have. I want to use what I have. So there's nothing wrong with any of these, but I am going to declutter. Next up is the Honey. And I actually had this when it first released. This is, of course, an older palette. I loved it so much, ended up decluttering it because I was like, I don't really get a whole lot of use out of it. And then my girl Renee was getting rid of it, so she did gift this to me, and it's not going anywhere. I'm glad that they have kind of gone away from the glitters. I could do without those. Y'all know how I feel about those. But I also, if I'm not going kind of murky greens, grunge, things like that, I want warmth. And this is perfect for that. And I like the color combination in here. I again like that there's a little bit of depth. Everything kind of goes with everything in here. So again, it's quite nostalgic, evokes happiness for me, so definitely holding on to this one. Next up is the Wild Child, also from ColourPop. And this is another one that I'm not going to be getting rid of because my son has always loved giraffes. That was always his favorite growing up. He had a large giraffe collection for many, many years. And this was kind of, in my opinion, for what ColourPop was doing back then, this was really their first palette that really made me go, whoa. Like, it had punch, it had depth and stuff like that, and I love, you guys, this is beautiful. Absolutely stunning, definitely holding on to this one. Next up, another one that I'm probably gonna hold on to, I think through this declutter, and then we'll kind of see, because I generally only use it in like the springtime, but it's another one that's just nostalgic and just, you know, evokes good memories and stuff for me. But this is the My Little Pony palette, and I don't reach for it as often as maybe I should, but I am gonna hold on to it just for that reason for now. And you guys know, if you've been here with me for a while, I don't really hold on to things. I don't have a connection per se to makeup. Like, nothing's like, oh my gosh, I will never get rid of this or whatever. But there are, you know, a few different items, a few pieces throughout my collection that they are special to me because they evoke that type of memory for me. Next up is the Clay It Cool palette. And I'm actually finally going to declutter this. This is a me palette also. But because I do have the Patrick Ta palette, I am going to go ahead and declutter this. But if you are looking, I'm not quite sure if they still sell this particular palette or not. But if you're looking for kind of a dupe to like the Patrick Ta, this does have really, really nice pigment. And this one does, in my opinion, have better staying power than a lot of the like older like ColourPop palettes do. But it's beautiful. I like that it goes from light to dark. I like the cream shades. I like the shimmers that are paired with the mattes. It's just beautiful, but it is time to let it go because I do now have a Patrick Ta one. All right, next up, I think I'll go over here to the Wet n Wild palettes. I actually got these secondhand from a friend who was selling like a bundle of makeup for pretty damn cheap. I think I kind of prefer this one, even though I don't normally go like pinky berry, like romantic-y, but I like this. For some reason, it's calling to me. And I know already, as much as I am a warm tone babe and I like all of the like the metallics and stuff like that in here, I don't think I'm gonna get much use out of this one. So I will be decluttering this one and I'm gonna hold on to this one. Next up, I have one from Made by Mitchell. This is the Blue Ya Mind. I never even used this. I don't even think I swatched it. If I did, I think I swatched like the darker shade here. And it's just not a color story I'm gonna reach for. Like if I have not used it yet, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on, but that shade right there, I will actually swatch that. Absolutely stunning, super beautiful and sparkly, but I do not reach for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next up, the now, I think, only Viseart or Viseart palette that I still have left. It is the cute little Petit Four Violette. I do feel like I like this enough that I'm probably gonna hold on to it for now, but I don't know if it's gonna make it through another declutter, and honestly, I really like it for the sequin shade and this shade right here. And then I really like this rosewood shade, but I kept a single shadow very similar to this. So now that I'm actually looking at it and swatching it, as beautiful as this is, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I can't believe I just said that, but it's going. Next up is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Trove palette. And this bad boy is not going anywhere. It was crazy expensive when it first launched. And then they did, I think like a holiday sale or something like that. So I did get it on sale. I'm hoping that even just, you know, keep in mind, I can't see what y'all see, okay? But I'm hoping that you guys can kind of see how beautiful, special, and impactful these are. They are incredibly beautiful, you guys. Like prismatic, beautiful, multi-dimensional, very, very smooth. This thing is not going anywhere. It is absolutely stunning. Definitely holding on to this one. Next up is, I think, my very last Huda Beauty palette. This is the Huda Beauty Gold. And I think I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to it finally, because I know already, like, I definitely have these shades time and time again in here. And I think it's time to let it go, you guys. Next up, this is from the Pretty Smart collection from Walmart. This is a quite affordable drugstore brand. I will hold on to this, even though it's not something I'm gonna reach for all the time. It's not like the highest quality, but it is good quality. But I do like to be able to showcase different price ranges. I like to do drugstore, high-end, so on and so forth. And I do have a full video up using the Pretty Smart collection. It's just not the highest quality, but like I said, you know, I do like to keep things like this in my collection to showcase more affordable or drugstore brands. So for that reason, I am gonna go ahead and hold on to it for now. Next up, I have this cute little Glow Core Mystic Earth eyeshadow palette. I got it in my IPSY glam bag, I believe. And at first I was gonna keep it, But I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter it just because, you guys, literally, like, this is almost like a spot-on dupe for the 2 ColourPop ones that I showed originally. So I definitely don't need this. Although this is really beautiful. And if you have tested this formula and you do really like it, let me know. But for now, it is definitely going to be decluttered. Next up is this Water Baby palette from Saints, Angels, Sinners. This was gifted to me by a friend. I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this particular palette. Even though it does have some really beautiful shades in it, I already know that I have these shades time and time again now in my collection, and more, you know, indie brands, even some mainstream brands, it's about time, have come out with beautiful shades like this as well. So solely for that reason, and it's just not something that I reach for all the time, I am going to go ahead and declutter. Next up is from Sugar Drizzle. This is the Fairy Chronicles Part 2, teeny tiny little all like shimmery duochrome palette. I am 1000% holding on to this one, y'all. This has got more like kind of pinky, reddy, purpley shades, which a lot of my palettes do not have. And the formula, you guys, is really, really beautiful here. Again, beautiful shifts, really high shine, very multi-dimensional. This is absolutely stunning. Absolutely holding on to this one. Next up is the Hoppy Go Lucky from Ensley Rain. I got this in an Ice Cream Beauty box, I'm almost positive. And I really, really love this, you guys. Like, I use this a whole lot. They have beautiful pigmentation. They're kind of, you know, special shades are very, very special. They wear well, they blend well, the longevity is there. So even though I've heard definitely some polarizing things about the brand, I received it in my Ice Cream Beauty box. I like it. I'm gonna use it. So yeah, I'm holding on to this one as well. And this video, because it is a marathon video, of course, like I said in the intro, this is going to be a very long video. So make sure you guys take a pause, take a break real quick, go and get you a snack, go get you a drink. I appreciate you guys being here. And while you're here, if you are enjoying this content, please consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up. Next up is the Clarity Cosmetics Stained Glass Palette. This is also another one that I received in my Ice Cream Beauty box. And this is another one that very highly pigmented, they wear well, and then they're special shades. They're incredibly special and beautiful. I love this. Obviously, it's got some depth in it. It's got those beautiful kind of grungy tones that I really love. So I'm definitely holding on to this one. I love this color story, you guys. Next up is another one that I got from my friend who was doing like a little like declutter thing. This is the Jason Wu, don't actually know, Flora Matte Suede palette. And I've actually not tried this yet. I don't think I've ever tried anything from Jason Wu, maybe a lip product back in the day. So I am going to hold on to it. I also, again, am looking to keep, you know, more affordable. I'm also looking to keep more affordable palettes in my collection. If you have experience with the Jason Wu, please let me know. I want to say that I recently saw my girl Heather over at Crazy Beautiful MUA. I'm almost positive it was her that I saw do a full face. So if you're inquisitive, you can check her out. But because I don't have much experience, I do want to hold on to it and I do want to test it out. So this one can stay. Next up, I have 4 minis of the Glaminatrix Cosmetics palettes. Let me open these up. I'll show you what they look like. As you can see, it's like this beautiful kind of faux leather, like quilted packaging. I think the packaging is really nice. It does feel kind of weighted and substantial, which I also appreciate. This one right here is not going anywhere. I mean, duh, if you know, you know. It is a Riri palette through and through, grunge, green, beautiful special shades, very, very, very high quality. They have, in my opinion, one of the best matte and shimmer formulas on the market. And I also feel like she's good people, in my personal opinion. Do I know her personally? No, I do not. But definitely holding on to this one. It's gorgeous, you guys. Like, the proof is in the pudding, is absolutely stunning. Definitely staying in my collection. Next up is this one right here. This is the Entrancing Eyes. This one I have not used yet, have not swatched yet, and my gosh, it's so beautiful. But I know now that I've kept a couple of those more like berry type shades. But then I'm wondering if I want to keep this instead of something else that I've already kept. I feel like I can let it go. I don't reach for those all the time. And I mean, you guys, it's exquisitely, exquisitely beautiful. So as much as I love it and I think it's beautiful, if I have not used it yet, I'm probably not going to reach for it. So I can go ahead and declutter this one. Next up is the Elevated Eyes. And I don't often, if you guys have been here with me for a while, you know I don't reach for like blues and stuff very often, but there's something that is just beautiful and unique and very special about this particular like color story and palette. So I think for now I am going to hold on to this one, although I will say if I don't get any use out of it by my next declutter, it will probably go, but for now it's a keep. And then last up is the Elegant Eyes, and this one is kind of a standard, more neutral leaning palette. Again, I love their formula, but I've not reached for this one yet, and I know already that I have probably something very similar to these in other palettes, and I definitely have neutrals in other palettes, but oh, they're so beautiful, you guys. Like, words cannot express how beautiful this is in person. Like, hopefully I'm doing this a little bit of justice at least, but because I have not reached for it, and again, I definitely want to keep in my collection things I know I'm going to get use out of, I am going to declutter. Let me count up what I've kept in this particular little section and how many I've decluttered. I'll BRB. All right, in that first round, I kept 14 and decluttered 10. Next, I'll move along to like the next, I guess, biggest size. We're gonna dive in. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Druid palette. This was like the first release of the Druid palette. I'm almost positive it's been updated since then. This is one of my favorite palettes. I reach for it a lot. It's one of my favorite fall palettes as well. Definitely keeping this one. I love this palette, you guys. Next up is the Summer Days palette from Cara Beauty. I have not even used this one yet. This one I think was also gifted to me, I think by Renee. I could absolutely be wrong in saying that, but I definitely, because this is kind of a me palette, I have plenty of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one along. Next up is the Gourmande Girls and Ladybug Glow Paradise Cove palette. I think I got this in an Ice Cream Beauty box. And as much as I love this type of color story, I just have not, I don't even think I've swatched this yet, you guys. And it's just not something that I've reached to. And I definitely, again, have plenty kind of in that same like color family. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up, I have a couple from Odin's Eye. I have the Earth Wood palette and the Giant Wolves palette. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. As you guys can see, I definitely gave it plenty of love. My kind of taste preferences have changed just a little bit, and I just don't reach for this palette, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Next up is the Earth Wood palette. I'm going to have to think on this one because when I'm looking at it kind of collectively, like this shade right here is so daggone beautiful, you guys. It's like greeny, goldy, orange, beautiful. But as a whole, I'm not going to get a whole lot of use out of like these couple of shades. And then the rest of these that are that more kind of murky, grunge, green, things like that, I obviously have plenty of those. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up, this one is one of the newest ones from NOMAD Cosmetics. I got this in, trying to remember, I think a boxy charm perhaps. And I did do a look and stuff for you guys by request. And I think I'm actually, even though I love this, I spoke very, very highly of it. It blended well, layered well, it wore incredibly well. And I like the pairing of like the matte to the shimmer formula. I know that I already have this palette a few times over. So for that reason and that reason alone, you guys, again, it is a beautiful palette and I hope I don't regret getting rid of it. But I am trying to be, again, a little bit more mindful and I want to keep a minimal type of collection. So I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up, again, sorry about the reflection. I actually don't even know what this is called, you guys. This was another one that I got from my friend that was doing like the little bundle. And I think I want to hold on to this. I don't really have anything like this. It's kind of a little bit more kind of dusty, lighter, a little bit more muted, obviously a little bit more kind of cool toned. But just based on like the swatches, I do want to try it and I want to give it a shot. Again, I do not know what the brand is or anything like that, but it just looks so pretty and I don't really have anything like this in my collection. So for now, I think I'm going to hold on to it. Next up is the Elegance palette from DD Signature. This is also another one I received in a subscription box. And for me, I just don't see myself reaching for it. I definitely have greens time and time again, over and over again. I don't often reach for blues. I just know that I'm not going to get a lot of use out of it. This is a brand that I really, really love. I think they have a beautiful, beautiful formula. But because it's not kind of a me palette, I don't see myself reaching for it. So I am going to declutter. And I think I'm changing my mind, you guys, like swatching this again. It reminded me how much I love it. So I think I'm going to hold on to this one for now. It's good, y'all. It's that damn good. Next up is another from DD Signature and another one that I received from Ice Cream Beauty. This is the Lioness Heart. I love the size of this, and I am going to hold on to this one, even though, like I just said, I probably have these colors over and over again. I just think, look, she's such a beautiful person. Like, if you follow her on Instagram and stuff like that, and I love the quality of her products and stuff like that. So for now, I am going to hold on to this. Next up is the Dragon Eye palette from What's Up Beauty. And I really love this palette, you guys. Like, I think the packaging is absolutely stunning. I do also enjoy their formula as well. I also enjoy their formula too. I think they have a really pretty formula. I like the overall color story too. I think it's thoughtfully done. I think they have a really nice formula and stuff like that. It is long lasting. So for now, I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. Next up is Clarity Cosmetics. This is the Lost at Sea. Again, I am sorry about the Reflexione. I think only because I've not gotten as much use out of it as I would like, and I don't often gravitate toward this side here, I think I am going to go ahead and declutter. Although I will say I think that they have a really beautiful formula. Some of their shimmer shades, and this has kind of been a little bit of an issue for them, some of their shimmer shades can be so softly pressed because they're handmade. That sometimes you get a little bit of damage. They're, you know, sometimes they come broken and stuff like that. I have been very lucky that I've only had one shade in one palette come broken. But yeah, as beautiful as these are, and I do think they have a beautifully, richly pigmented, you know, formula and stuff like that. It is long lasting. I just don't reach for this one as often as maybe I would like to. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up is the Ladybug Glow palette from Ladybug Glow. Y'all, if y'all knew how sparkly I was, I look like the freaking Tin Man. Hold on, y'all. Oh my goodness. Look, I love all the sparkle and the shimmer and the glimmer and all the things, but I don't want it all over me all the time. Alrighty. This one, I honestly, y'all, I just don't reach for it all the time. It is a good formula and stuff like that. I like that it has a black in it and a really nice, kind of very richly pigmented inky black. The beautiful, like, special shades, shimmer shades and stuff like that are really good. The mattes are really beautiful and like very high impact. I just don't reach for it. So I am going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up is the Glamlite Dirty Martini palette. And if you've been here with me for a very long time, you would know this for a long time was one of my all-time favorite palettes. Because it is a me palette. It's very murky, kind of dirty, kind of earthy, the greens and the grunge and all the things. I just don't reach for this as often as I used to because obviously, you know, there have been many brands come out with, you know, the same or very similar type of. There have been many brands that have come out with very similar color stories that I kind of have a preference for. So I cannot believe I'm saying this, y'all. I cannot believe that these words are coming out of my mouth. But I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. Next up, this is a cutie patootie little palette from Spoiled Cosmetics. And I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. I didn't even use it. I think I just kind of swatched it for you guys. And again, I don't reach for blues all the time, but from what I have used of their palettes and stuff like that, they do have a good solid formula. It is not my all-time favorite. If this was like the cream of the crop, I probably would not get rid of it. I do really like their color stories. I like that they're kind of cool and funky and unique, but I'm just not going to reach for this. So for that reason, I'm going to declutter. Next up, this is Clino Cosmetics, the Dragon Fruit palette. This was like the first edition of this. I don't know if it's still available. This particular packaging is not, but I know that they kind of redid the packaging. Let me hurry. I am going to go ahead and declutter this, you guys. There's nothing wrong with this, but I already know that I have other formulas that I prefer, that I have in my collection. Although like this one right here is one of my all-time favorites. It's like icy white, but then has this beautiful like kind of yellowy shift to it, incredibly sparkly. This one right here is another one that, I mean, they're all beautiful. We'll just say that. They're all incredibly beautiful. But I have other palettes that I prefer, other formulas that I prefer, and I definitely have like these deeper shades right here in some of my other palettes. I definitely have these in other palettes. So for that reason only, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up is the Clarity Cosmetics Komodo palette. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I do apologize if I'm not, you guys. Let me go ahead and put that on there. I honestly, I think I'm going to change my mind. Look, it's my prerogative, y'all. I can change my mind if I want to. Even though I don't reach for this all the time, there's something beautiful and special about this particular palette. So I do want to hold on to it. So I think I'm going to keep this palette. And because I do feel like I definitely have these shades literally over and over and over again, I can go ahead and declutter this palette right here. But baby, do you see that? Do you see that? How beautiful that is. Yeah, I definitely have these over and over again, and I've definitely got these over and over again. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one, and I will hold on to the Lost at Sea palette. Next up, this is the Item Beauty in My Element palette. This is no longer a brand. I received this in like an IPSY or a BoxyCharm, and I loved this. I spoke so highly of this. I really like the color story here. It's kind of more like purpley, a little bit more neutral leaning. It's a little bit more kind of purpley, like plummy, cool tone, romantic on this side. They had a really, really good formula. And then over here, of course, the beautiful warm tones that I really like. This sucker was pigmented, very long lasting and stuff like that. But I definitely, again, have plenty like this in my collection, and I just don't reach for it anymore. So I am going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up, we have the Clarity Cosmetics, the Chocolate Seduction palette. This is one of the first ones that I kind of reintroduced myself with, because their first palette I tried many years ago. It was not my favorite, but I have to say that this palette made me kind of fall back in love with the brand, and I really do love it. I'm going to go ahead and say though, and it smells good too. Oh, look, y'all, I just stuck my freaking finger in there. Oh, well, it smells delicious too. But I literally have this in like the ColourPop, the Wild Thing or whatever it's called. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it again though. She has a really, really beautiful, high impact, richly pigmented formula. I just don't reach for it. And because I do have other ones in my collection, I know I can go ahead and declutter this one. Y'all, I smell it from here. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, that one's going as well. And last but not least in this round, we have the Nudes of New York Maybelline. I'm guessing that's just the name of it. And this is another one that I got from my friend who was doing like the little declutter. I think I want to hold on to it. I've not tried a Maybelline palette in years and years and years. And of course, my preferences have changed. And I've said this forever. The drugstore is not where it's at for eyeshadow formulas, in my opinion. But I am also very picky. Like these are kind of just a standard kind of classic, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's more of a traditional, thicker, satin-esque shimmer formula. And you guys can probably already tell based off, you know, my swatches and then my preferences, and kind of based on my swatches and all the other palettes and stuff like that, kind of what my preferences are, and this ain't it. But again, I do like to keep more drugstore, more affordable things in my collection so that I can do drugstore tutorials and stuff like that. So for now, I am going to go ahead and hold on to it. If you guys have drugstore or very affordable palettes that you really have a preference for, can you let me know? And of course, I go into this knowing like, hey, this is not going to be sparkly, multi-dimensional, you know, multi-chromes and holochromes and all the things. I understand that. That's honestly just my preference, you guys. But there's nothing wrong with these, and I say that time and time again. If this is your preference, that is fantastic. Do what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. But I'm going to keep it for now. Let me count up this round. I'll BRB. All right, in that pile, I only kept 6. I decluttered 13. I am actually going to go ahead and declutter this. I'm on the other side now. Sorry about that, y'all. Because I love the super special shades, but I know that I have another palette in my collection from DD Signature that has like the red and the green and has these similar tones to it. So I'm actually also going to be decluttering this one. All right, we are moving on to the next little category. Hopefully everything is situated still. I actually just had a live premiere on YouTube, so my phone's not in the same place. I apologize. Next up is this Poppy and Fluff, the Lonely Scarecrow. I also received this in a subscription box. And this is a super cute little palette. Like, it performed well and stuff like that. Blended, layered well, had good long wearability to it. So I'm going to hold on to it. Do I have plenty of palettes that have these colors and stuff in it? Sure. But it is a newer brand to my collection. I'm pretty sure they're kind of a newer brand just in general. And I think they have really beautiful quality. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. Next up, I have a couple palettes from Alter Ego. I know I purchased one and they sent me one. I am really sorry if I do not remember. And I do have an affiliated code with Alter Ego. It's RERE10 to save you 10%. But I've purchased from them many, many times. This is the Sundown. This is the Mirage. And I feel like they're a pretty underrated brand. Like the packaging feels nice and weighted, really good quality. And they are more of a dupe brand. I know some people do not like that. And I think they have really beautiful quality. The long wearability and stuff is there. So this is this one. And then this one is the Mirage palette. I think I'm going to keep the smaller of the two and go ahead and declutter this one. Next up, this is the DD Signature Fearless Holiday Eyeshadow Palette. This is actually the one that I was speaking of from the last little section where I felt comfortable enough to go ahead and get rid of that other one because this palette also has like orange and green. To me, this is a little bit more of a cohesive color story, and I have those same shades in here. And this is one that I would reach for. Just spoiler alert too, I have a holiday look coming up with this that you guys will see in December. But again, she has a beautiful formula. I love the quality, long wearability, things like that. So definitely holding on to this one. Next up, I have a couple palettes from Artitude Cosmetics. We have the Vintage Neutrals and the Obsession. Hopefully I'm saying that right. These are both actually gifted from my beautiful friend Janet. So these are not going anywhere. This is another formula that I think is absolutely stunning. This is another very Briri type of palette, a little bit of warmth, some depth, some lighter blending out shades, a little bit of green, grunge, murkiness. Beautiful, beautiful formula. Definitely holding on to this one. We also have the Vintage Neutrals palette. This is also the same thing, but leaning a little bit more greens and stuff like that, and kind of my preference, but done in a softer, kind of more subdued and more kind of spring forward manner, if you will. I think that they have a beautiful formula, definitely holding on to these as well. Next up is the Sweater Weather Palette Come Undone from Rebel Rouge Labs. She no longer is really doing palettes and makeup and stuff anymore, and this is actually my last palette that I have from Rebel Rouge Labs. But I love it. I'm holding on to it. Of course, it's quite similar to some of the other ones that I have in my collection, but I love it. And just for nostalgic purposes and stuff like that, she was a brand, and they were a brand that I really truly believed in, literally since the beginning of the brand. So I'm holding on to it, you guys. It's still beautiful quality. So definitely holding on to this one as well. Next up is the XO Beauty. This is Shan XO, who is on YouTube, social media and stuff like that. This is her brand. This is the Native palette. I do have a tutorial with this up. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. And yes, it's very similar to some other ones that I have kept, but this one's a little bit more kind of soft and more kind of dusty, if you will. Still really beautiful quality and stuff like that, but I am going to go ahead and declutter. Next up, this is one of the more recent ones to my collection. I got this in, I think, my ice cream beauty bag, I'm pretty sure. This is the Moyer Cosmetics Never Ending Lights, and I do also have a tutorial up with this one. As much as I like this and it is good quality, they're not my favorite formula, but they are also a more affordable brand and, in my opinion, underrated. But I do not like this layout, you guys, and I know I'm not going to reach for it. That's all. Next up, this is the Look for Rainbows from Gloss Gods Cosmetics. This is another beautiful all shimmer formula. This was gifted in one of my swaps with my beautiful friend Kate, so I'm going to hold on to this one as well. And I am a fan, I was not for a very long time, but I am a fan of beautiful all shimmer, like multi-chrome, duochrome type like palettes and stuff. And there are some very smooth, like multi-chromes in here. There are some that are a little bit more flaked, some that are a little bit more emollient. And I like that it kind of runs the gamut. There's like green, there's darker ones, there's purple ones, there's goldy, there's pink. So I really love this, you guys. So I am going to hold on to this one as well. Next up is the Harvest of Souls from Fantasy Cosmetica. I am absolutely holding on to this. I love, 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 love this color story. Cannot express how much I love this color story. I love that I love that there's some lighter blending out shades. I love that you can kind of work in each little quad. You can mix and match, and there are some absolute exquisitely beautiful shades in here, you guys. Like there's some beautiful hollow chromes. There's some that are a little bit more flaked. Her matte formula is really, really nice, very buildable, very pigmented, and again, long wearing. And I know I don't ever hear people talk about that. Longevity, you guys, and long wear for me, for eyeshadows, is imperative. I do not want to sit down and do my makeup and spend any amount of time doing an eye look for it to literally wither away and just kind of dust off my eyes in 5 seconds. That will piss me off. But this is a beautiful formula. I love, love, love this color story. Definitely holding on to this one. This is the Deadly Rose palette from Clarity Cosmetics. And as much as I like this and I have liked the looks that I have created, I know for me and my preferences, I would mostly only use this in like the cooler months, like fall, winter time, you know, spooky season, Halloween, things like that. So yes, it's really beautiful. Again, she has a very pigmented, beautiful formula. As much as I like the formula, I know I'm not going to reach for this, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next up is another one that was gifted by my beautiful friend Janet. This is the Mingo palette from Davini Beauty. This was actually my very first palette from Davini, and oh, beautiful quality, you guys. I love this. I love the color story overall. I like that it's like kind of me in terms of like warm and then greens, but that's a little bit more kind of girly, if you will. It's more pinks, a little bit more soft, a little bit more Barbie-core, if you will. Again, they have a really beautiful, very high pigmented formula and stuff like that. I had a really good time with this palette. I have used it a couple times since getting it from her. So yeah, I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. I think that they also are probably a brand that's a little bit more underrated. I would definitely like to try more from the brand. And I'd like to know too, while we're going through, you guys know, obviously my collection is majority, you know, indie brands. What is your favorite indie brand? What is your favorite palette you've ever had from an indie brand? I'd love to know. But all that to say, I'm keeping this one as well. Next up is the MVA Cosmetics Shake Your Goo thing. And that is what it looks like. I am going to go ahead and declutter this solely because, again, other than using it pretty much like this time of the year, like spooky season, Halloween, like fall, winter-esque type of things, this is not something that I'm really going to reach for all the time. I do think that they have a really good formula and stuff like that, though. I did have a good time with this. I just know I'm not going to use it, so somebody else could give it some love, y'all. This one's also going to go. Next up, this was a recommendation from my beautiful friend Debbie Ton. I did pay for this myself. This is from Electrum Cosmetics. This is the Blood Moon palette. Definitely holding on to this. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful, you guys. There are some really spectacular, very special, beautiful shades in here that I do not have anywhere else in my collection. Really, really great pigment, long wearability and stuff like that. I love the mattes. I mean, I love everything about this palette. I absolutely love, you guys, do you see that? I love this color story. I am happy to have this palette, and it was a great recommendation from her. This shade right here also, I wish I had an extra finger. Also very beautiful, very special to my collection, so definitely holding on to this one as well. Next up, I have a couple palettes from Mandy Makeup. I do have an affiliated code with her. It's RERE10 for 10% off of $39.99 or more. She sent me Mint City. I liked it, and then when I saw this, I jumped at this. She's going to hopefully be re-releasing this one. For right now, this one is sold out, and the Mint City is available. The Mint City is representative of her hometown and stuff like that. Her formula is really nice. I will say that the formula here, in my opinion, is better than it is here in terms of the matte formulation, but she also has really beautiful shades in here. I could obviously do without the glitter, but y'all, that's not a Mandy Makeup thing. That's a I don't like glitters in my palettes generally. But really, really nice quality. Again, though, I feel like this one is a little bit better quality. Let me wipe my hands. And this is not just my favorite palette from her that I've tried so far. It's one of my all-time favorite palettes, and it's one of my all-time favorite fall palettes as well. It is absolutely stunning. I have absolutely enjoyed this. I use it all the time. I love the looks that I've come up with using this particular color story. And again, really, really nice pigment here. This one has, in my opinion, a better matte formulation. I don't know if she switched over between the two. But yeah, beautiful. I love this palette. Like, so much so that when it comes out, I most likely will get a backup of this palette. It's that beautiful, you guys. And it's a RERE palette. I love, love, love this. Keeping both, of course. Last up in this little section here is from DD Signature. This is the Chrome Book Volume 1. I'm almost positive, like 99% sure they released a second version of this as well. And here is what it looks like. And now that I'm looking at this, I also know that I have one through Gourmande Girls. I might declutter the Gloss Gods one. I'll pop on the screen whether or not I did or not. I feel like the same colors are in the Gloss Gods as are in this one. So I think I'm going to declutter that one and keep this one. Again, though, beautiful. I love that there's some neutral leaning ones in here. I like that there's some like inner corner ones. There's greens, there's purples, there's reds. I love this. Absolutely beautiful. Keeping this. Let me add this pile up. I'll BRB. All right, I did actually just want to go ahead and open these for you guys and just kind of show I'm definitely confident keeping this one and decluttering this one. I feel like through both, they're very similar, and definitely I have in here what's in here, plus the addition to some neutrals. Some of the shades I like a whole lot in here are also in here. So yes, I'm firm on keeping this one, decluttering this one. All right, that last little pile, I kept 13 and decluttered 7. All right, we are moving on to my larger palettes, and then we have Gourmande Girls and we have Nomad coming up. This is the Ace Beauté Palettopoly palette. I'm actually going to compare it just to be safe. If I can find it, I just had it. Just because I know I don't really need 2 of these. This is the Glamlight Scooby-Doo palette. And I just want to kind of compare and see which one I have a preference for. I do absolutely love Scooby, and I've held on to this pretty much. This is one of those that's also a nostalgic special palette to me. My son and I have watched Scooby-Doo together since he was born. We still love it. We still watch it. Matter of fact, we just watched them when he was in town last week. It has an amazing lenticular scene on it, and it is also very colorful. So, comparatively, I'm not getting pink over here. But I know I have pink in other palettes. I do like the layout and color story. I feel like of this one a little bit better. But I think kind of tonally, it's all very similar. And because this has a special place in my heart, I'm going to hold on to the Scooby Glamlight. And I am going to declutter the Palettopoly. Next up, I have a couple more from Spoiled Cosmetics. And this one I have not even opened or taken out of the package or anything like that just yet. I will say, like I said, I think that they have a really good formula. I do like everything is always packaged really well and stuff like that. I like their different color stories. And I like that they're unique and cool and just, like I said, a little bit kind of different and funky. But for me, y'all, I know it sounds stupid. I am so weird about layouts in a palette, just like with the Moira Cosmetics one. So literally for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to declutter this one. And then we also have the pumpkin palette. I'm not sure if it was called the pumpkin palette. Maybe it was called the Halloween palette. I'm not quite sure. This one is super freaking cute. I have done a couple of looks for you guys with this particular palette. And even though I know the actual layout kind of drives me crazy, and I don't really use these that often, I do think, again, I want to have a little bit of variation in my collection, and I think this now would be the very last one that I have in my collection from Spoiled Cosmetics, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one. Next up, I have the DD Signature, the Jingle Bell Ruby eyeshadow palette. This was also one that I received in a subscription box. And solely because I just have a preference for the other one that I kind of showcased earlier, the like holiday one. I think I'm going to hold on to that one because it's got very similar colors in here. Again, she has a really beautiful formulation. The, shimmer formula is really beautiful. The mattes are very, very pigmented, but also buildable, blendable, layerable, and things like that. But I'm being selective, you guys, and I want to have a small enough collection that I'm reaching for everything and showing everything some love. Because I have a preference for the other one, I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. Next up, we have the Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics. I want to say this was gifted from my beautiful friend Clara. If I'm wrong in saying that, look, you guys, I have the memory of, I don't know, a fart. I could not tell you what I ate for lunch yesterday. And I'm kind of joking about that, but it scares me. That's how forgetful I am. But absolute stunning packaging, very heavy, very weighted. And I love this color story. It is absolutely beautiful, you guys. Their mattes are very, very, very pigmented. I feel like they have a really nice formulation. Sometimes I feel like kind of in previous palettes that I've used of theirs, I feel like sometimes the mattes can get a little bit kind of muddy. And I think it could be because tonally, sometimes they're a little bit similar. But I still think that they have beautiful color stories, beautiful, unique color stories. And if you are kind of a more like grunge babe like myself, I think this will speak to you as well. So definitely holding on to this one. Also, my mom is a Gemini. Shout out to all my Geminis. Next up is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette. I think they also have an incredible formula. I'm debating on this though, because I feel like I've kept enough kind of in the spectrum of leaning more grunge and stuff, but I do like that they have neons in here. And to my recollection, you guys, I know I have some neons in like my Gourmande Girls palettes. I kind of have a couple in the Scooby-Doo. I think for now, I'm going to put this in the Declutter pile. But I really liked like the concept of having them in the rows. Of course, I love the light to dark. I love that there's a pastel. I like that there's, you know, the more neon-y row and then the shimmers to kind of correspond. I think that's genius. Like the layout, the color story, perfection. It's a beautiful formula. Again, layerable, blendable, buildable. They don't get patchy and muddy. They wear incredibly well. Solely because I know I have these over and over and over again, I am going to go ahead and declutter this. Next up, I'll kind of quickly go through all three of my, I always forget because they have changed. It was, hold on, y'all, cosmic brushes, but maybe now they're called cosmic, y'all, I'm going to get it wrong again. They were cosmic brushes, now they're cosmic beauty, or they were cosmic beauty, now they're cosmic brushes, whatever the case may be. Sorry if I got that wrong. Absolutely, in my personal opinion, one of the best formulas, most consistent formulas across the board, and for such an affordable freaking price. I do not know how they do it, you guys. These are like $39-ish, something like that. This is the Undergrowth palette. You'll absolutely understand why I love this one so much, and why I also felt comfortable enough kind of getting rid of like the Glam Light palette and stuff like that. This is a Riri palette through and through and through. I absolutely love this color story so much. Again, light to dark. I have some blending out shades. There's some richness. There's some warmth. And then I've got this beautiful grungy kind of murky earthy tones that I love. There are some holochromes. There are some more flaked shadows in here. The matte formulation is really, really spectacular. I feel like this is kind of, obviously this is personal preference. Everybody has their own preferences. I think, for me personally, them, Nomad Cosmetics, DD Signature, Gourmande Girls, those are some of the few that I can think off the top of my head that, yes, they have beautiful special shades that are just out of this world, but their matte formula is also perfection. And as much as I go on and on about bells and whistles, because I love them so much, you guys, I like all the pretty things, okay? As much as I go on about those types of shades, a beautiful standout matte for me, you guys, is very, very important. Like I was saying earlier, if I do not have long wearability, longevity in the shadows, it's going to make me mad. So yeah, all that to say, this is perfection. I'm keeping it. They have a beautiful formula. Check them out if you have not. They don't know I exist. I have no codes, no nothing. Bought these with my own money. But they have a beautiful formula, you guys. And I feel like, I think people kind of now know them. Sorry, I'm wiping my hands off. I think people now kind of have a little bit more of an idea of them, and they're a little bit more popular, but you guys are so underrated in my opinion. They're so damn good. Next up, we have the Serenity and the Muse palettes. Again, I purchased these myself. I think I kind of want to compare the two of these just because these are more, not like 100% Riri palettes, and not that every palette needs to be, or I would literally have, you know, 100 of the exact same thing. I feel like looking at these, I'm keeping both. And I'm saying that because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I have like the pastel-y, kind of leaning a little bit more neon that I like. I have those beautiful kind of iridescent shades in both that I really, really love. We've got like the grunge. I feel like these together, they are really, really stunning, but I can also kind of pair these with other palettes. I didn't think I was going to keep all three from them, but you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm definitely keeping both of these now. Next up, I have the Bougie palette from Inslee Rain. I actually saw, I think it was Smithy Sony showcase this on her channel. And I mean, if you guys know, you know, like Halloween time, the spooky season, all that kind of stuff. I live for those types of eyeshadow palettes and looks and stuff like that. It really feels like great quality. And even though this is not an everyday me palette, and I'm not gonna reach for this probably past this season, I really, really liked the color story here. And when she showcased it, like these shades right here, you guys, they made me just say yes. They're beautiful, they're very special and quite unique to what I have in my collection. So I opted to get the palette. If I do not get some use out of it, like next kind of Halloween, holiday-ish season, I probably will declutter. And honestly, I mean, as beautiful as these are, to know that I'm keeping this for these, I don't like that. And if you guys know, and you're familiar with me as a person, you know, as a makeup collector, I don't call myself a collector, but you know, I don't like to keep something based off of one or two shades. That's generally not me. But because these are so beautiful and so special and unique to my collection, I'm gonna hold on to it for now. But I gotta say, I'm kind of regretting this purchase. And in saying that, do you have any purchases that you're just like, oh my gosh, like I spent so much money on this, or I waited a long time, or, you know, it was a special order, so you had to wait on it, whatever the case may be. I like to know what one makeup product, I'm sure you have multiple, like I probably do, but one is one that you can think of that you just regret buying. I'd like to know. Next up is the Laura Geller, the best of the best, the Baked Full Face Basics. I have been a fan of Laura Geller for many years, y'all. I am a QVC hoe through and through. If you are somebody, and yes, I know if you're looking at this, you're like, wait a damn minute, this is not bells and whistles. This is a standard palette. Y'all, her formula, specifically on more mature or dry skin, textured skin, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right the F now. This is very, very comparable to Hourglass, in my opinion. And yes, I have Hourglass as well. They're very comparable, you guys. And I like that Laura Geller herself, I've watched her for many years over on QVC. I follow her on social media. I love that she wants to amplify, you know, older voices, and she wants to showcase the over 50, you know, beauty spectrum and population. I love that, you guys. We need more of that. So yeah, I'm holding on to this. And if I ever do get rid of it, I'm giving it to my mother because she's also a fan. But if you are somebody that you're looking for, you know, you're the opposite of me and you're like, girl, I do not want all them bells and whistles and the glitter and the, you know, shimmy shims and all that kind of stuff. If you want a beautiful, classic, elevated, and perfect for mature skin, I think you'd really love this palette. And she does a bundle like at holiday time where she'll have like this with like some brushes and some other products for you guys for very affordable price. So yeah, all that to say, I'm keeping it. It's beautiful. And I always have people ask too, like, do I kind of plan? Do I like kind of scope out my collection before I start filming or anything? No, I do not. I take it all out of my little dresser that I keep everything in. I sit it on the bed, take the picture, do the little intro roll of, you know, all the palettes on the bed. And I bring them in here in piles. And literally as I'm going through, I'm kind of trying to be mindful and pay attention. You know, hey, did I just swatch something or just open something that looks similar? And then does this have better quality than this? So on and so forth. No, I don't plan. Next up is the Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee, the Full Fantasy Color Palette. I love the packaging. I really like Lunar Beauty's packaging a lot, you guys. And I love this. I think it is beautifully done. I think it is neutrals, but elevated. I like that we have more of like a muted kind of plummy side over here. We've got some softer tones. We do have some depth and stuff like that. And the shimmer formula in here, yes, it's kind of gearing more towards that classic formula, but just like with the Patrick Ta palette, it's a little bit more elevated. You know, it's maybe not like the most impressive, but they're beautiful nonetheless. And I really like the matte formulation in here as well. I think it's a beautiful, again, well-rounded and consistent formula. I'm holding on to this one. Next up, this was another item that came in my like spot with my beautiful friend Kate. This is the Fine Art Beauty like Naturals palette, I think it's called. Like, it is this palette for face and eyes. I don't think it's called anything. Found it in the depths of creativity, palette for face and eye. Yeah, I think it's just called the palette for face and eyes. And because this is kind of so big and bulky, and it's in the like the bottom of my little shelf in there, my dresser, you guys, I have not even reached for this just yet. And I'm kind of regretting it because I have a feeling it's going to be incredibly beautiful. But because it is still new, and I already know I have this in this palette here that I use consistently, I am going to go ahead and declutter this. I'm going to say though, the Fine Beauty, the white eyeliner that I use all the time, is the best eyeliner I have ever used, ever. So based on that and the quality of that, I'm assuming this is pretty damn good. So hopefully I do not regret getting rid of this, but I love tonally. It goes very light to very dark. This would be perfect. That's the reason why I keep this. And only because I have this, I'm comfortable decluttering this. But if you are somebody like myself that you do bridal makeup and stuff like that, you guys, I can literally go from very fair to rich, deep skin. It has all the different shimmers to kind of correspond to that. Like this is, in my opinion, the perfect makeup artistry type palette, but I don't need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. This is the P. Louise Chapter 3, a brand new chapter. I purchased this again myself. You guys, this looks like a beautiful book, incredibly heavy and weighted. I'm so sorry if this is blinding you guys. Magnetic here. I love this. This is my most used, aside from now the Patrick Ta, because I love that and I use it consistently as well. And then like my Danessa Myricks ones, and then my Nomad Air, the little mini neutral palette. Aside from those, like this, every single time I have done a bridal makeup since getting this, I have done my niece's prom makeup twice. I've done my sister's makeup twice. I've done a couple of bridal makeups. This is perfection. Like if you're a makeup artist, yeah, it's a little bulky. Or just somebody, you know, you like to play in makeup and do your friends and family makeup, whatever. But we have the eyeshadow section here. We have all of the blushes here. We have all of the bronzers here. And then corresponding highlights as well. This, for me, just makes it incredibly easy, you guys. And I have this, and then of course I take base products, brow products. But y'all, this is great. It's beautiful quality. It's a beautiful formula in my opinion. My one qualm is gonna be that with the blushes, hopefully you guys can see, I kind of really have to get in here because not a lot of pigment kind of comes up upon like first swatch or first application or anything like that. And they almost look like, and they're not, but they almost look like they're kind of hard panning, and I don't understand why. But other than that though, like they're very, very pigmented. And in saying that I feel like I don't get a lot of pigment at one time, that's a good thing in terms of, you know, doing somebody else's makeup because I can build upon the look. But yeah, that kind of, I'm perplexed by that because these did not do that. And then the shimmer shades, you know, the highlighters also did not do that. But yeah, I love this. I do not see myself getting rid of this unless it just, you know, goes bad. But otherwise, I'm keeping. Last up in this little section is the Cosmic Dreamer palette from Inslee Rain. And I have done a few looks with this palette as well. This is another color story and a palette that I love, 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 love. The formula here is, in my opinion, exquisite. And I love that they kind of, again, lay it out very beginner friendly. It's in different rows. There's a dark and a light shade. There are some blending out shades. There's the grunge that I like. There's some more muted tones. There's some earthy tones, murky tones. And then I think that they have a really, really stunning formula. There are some holochromes in here, some duochromes. I like that there's a lot to kind of pick from. There are a lot of different finishes and stuff in here and textures. Yeah, I love this. This is not going anywhere. All right, let me count up this pile. I'll BRB. Next up is gonna be Nomad. I'm actually gonna take everything out of the sleeves. Hey, out of the sleeves, because again, I'm not decluttering any of those. I would just kind of show those to you. In the previous pile though, I kept 11 and only decluttered 5. Look, I was on a roll, y'all. I was on a roll. So last pile, we kept 11 and decluttered 5. I'll have all the tally and stuff at the end as well. Let's dive into Nomad Cosmetics. All right, like I said, I'm just gonna kind of open, show you, and then kind of let you know like which ones are kind of my favorites and stuff like that. This is their latest release, aside from the one I just got today, and I don't know when this is going up, so I can't show y'all that yet. But maybe by the time you see this, you will already know. This is the Pacific Northwest palette. As you can see, beautiful attention to detail. It looks like a literal work of art. And I love, and I speak to this a lot, like I was saying a few minutes ago, I feel like they have one of the most consistent formulas that I have tried. Their mattes and their shimmer formula is really, really nice. I speak to this all the time. They are incredibly beginner friendly. You know, you can come here and it's going to be a cohesive look. You can come here, you can come here. And every single palette, pretty much, I believe that I've showcased everything, I will have videos up. More specifically, like obviously ones I get in PR so I can showcase them and stuff. But if you just type in The Brutally Honest Beauty and then Pacific Northwest, Fête de Provence, whatever the case may be, I have looks up with every single palette. Love, love, love. This is one of my favorites from them now. Absolutely love it. Next up is the Witch City Pale, nope. I'm already delirious, you guys. I think I've been filming for about 3 hours. This is the Witch City Salem. Again, with the beautiful lenticular design. And I absolutely love this one as well. And I've used this one multiple times since getting it. And again, with the layout, they literally lend themselves to being incredibly beginner friendly. You can kind of go here, you can go here, you can go here. Obviously, you can mix and match. And I always like that there's some light, there's some depth. And then I like the variation to the shimmers and the mattes. Perfection. I absolutely love this. This is another favorite. Next up is the Chamonix Après-Ski. If I'm saying anything wrong, I apologize. And if you're not familiar with Nomad Cosmetics, I have followed them and used their products for many, many years, well before I ever received PR. And I do have a non-affiliated code with them. It's RERE10 to save 10%. But their basic premise, excuse me, is showcasing their travels to us. They go to all these different destinations. They are, you know, nomadic, and they bring all of these destinations to us in the form of eyeshadow palettes. This is another one that I really love. Not in my top like 10, I don't think, or top 5, but still beautiful nonetheless. This one is really special to me. Again, very beginner friendly, but it also has some of those really beautiful like inner corner, highlighty, brow bone type shades that I love. And I like that their shimmer formula is, if you're kind of in between, like you're in between me in the spectrum of, I want it all, the holochromes and the sparkle and the shifty and the whatever, and then somebody that kind of wants a, you know, standard traditional, again, nothing wrong with that, but somebody that wants like a standard shimmer formula, this is that mid-ground. They are still really special, really beautiful, sparkly and stuff like that. But then they also, again, lend themselves to being very beginner friendly. And I love that about them. They are literally one of my favorite brands. Like, even if I never got anything else from them, and I don't believe they watch my content. Do you blame them? If they ever were to see this, or I want you guys to know, just as somebody that, you know, I don't always feel the most confident and don't feel like I'm kind of growing in the way that I feel like I should and things like that. To receive PR from a brand that I love so, so much, you guys, it's beyond words to me. I cannot express how grateful I am, but love this one as well. This one right here, I actually recently used this one too. And that's something else. I don't get a palette in PR and use it one time and then it's gone forever. I use these consistently. This is I just used this, I don't know why I forgot, Fairy Tale Europe palette. And their attention to detail, to packaging and stuff like that, also incredibly beautiful. They also give back, which I love. This one right here, I just used, and you can tell I love this one. I've used it and used it and used it. I like that this lends itself to being a little bit more neutral, but then we've got, you know, a little bit of pops of color. We've got some depth and stuff like that. We have those beautiful kind of special shades as well. Yeah, this is one of the most used ones that I have of theirs. I love it. Beautiful. Next up, one of my all-time favorite palettes in general, not just through Nomad, is the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way. Is that the right name? Yes. And if you guys do not know, I am half Irish and I want to visit. This is on my bucket list. I have dreamed of going, I have literally paper towel in my ring. Sorry, y'all. I've dreamed of going to Ireland for my entire life. So even when they just sneak peeked this, I was like, yes, please. Again, attention to detail. Everything is weighted. It feels nice and luxe. And this is, of course, a RERE palette. It has the grunge. It's got the greens and stuff like that. It goes again from light to dark. I love the variation in tone. I love the mattes to the shimmers. It's beautiful, you guys. One of my all-time favorites. Love. Next up, I'm probably gonna butcher this. I'm very sorry. I think it's Bosque Nuboso de Monteverde. This is a very beautiful tropical palette. I did repurchase this because I did have this and it was sent in PR and then it was no longer available. And that was kind of at the beginning of me getting PR. And I've since kind of told myself, like, don't get rid of anything, just in the case that somebody does want to see comparisons. Maybe you already have this and they come out with something that seems similar. So when this was on sale, and they do sales and stuff all the time, you guys, when it was on sale again, I purchased it. And I do also purchase from the brands that I do get PR and stuff from, but this is beautiful. Not in my top. That would be probably why I decluttered it in the past, but still beautiful nonetheless. Next up, this is the Keys Beachy. Let me double check, y'all. Yeah, the Keys Beachy and Peachy. Again, attention to detail, the packaging and stuff like that. And of course, they give back. This is another one that's not my all-time favorite, but it is really pretty. I happen to have favorites. Like this over here, I could do without, but that's a personal me preference. But otherwise, again, laid out in a way that says, hey, come over here and work with these, come over here and work with these. You can also mix and match. It goes light to dark. I like, you know, the mattes to the shimmer ratio. Super beautiful. Love that. Next up, this is the Nomad Cosmetic. Duh, they're all Nomad Cosmetics. This is the America's Route 66 palette. I also love this one. I love both sides here, but I love, again, that it's very beginner friendly. I like that the shimmers, you know, to the mattes, everything corresponds beautifully together. And again, they have a very consistent formulation. Love, that's one of my top from them as well. Next up, I'll probably just kind of do these side by side really quickly. We have Haunted Europe and we have Ghost Town USA. And I like that they kind of keep that even consistent, even going back to the Witch City Salem, where they're the same kind of structure, if you will, the same kind of layout, and then the packaging and stuff with the, you know, lenticular designs and stuff. Super, super cool. Love these. This one right here is the Ghost Town USA. Another one that you can see, she's been well loved, you guys. This is another of my favorites. Again, it's what I love in a palette. I've got a little bit of grunginess here. I've got some beautiful neutral tones, but that have richness to them. Again, super beginner friendly layout. And again, very consistent. Absolutely love. This is Haunted Europe. I missed out on this many years ago, and then they brought it back out. And I absolutely love it. And I think too, like if you have any of their palettes, there may be a couple similarities between. None of them are alike at all. So if you have all of their palettes, I can go into every single palette and create a completely, totally different look and stuff like that. This is newer to my collection, but I absolutely love this one as well. The only palette in the history of me purchasing from them and or receiving PR that I ever had any issues with is this one right here. This was like the Verona Love and Death. Let me just make sure I cover that up. The concept here, beautiful. And I love the notion of, like, you know, the love and the death. I like that this is very dark, very moody. I love this side is a little bit more cool tone and stuff like that. And then this side is very much like love, romantic. The only thing with this, you guys, is love the color story, love the layout, love the design and everything else. Again, very beginner friendly. The shimmer formula in this particular palette is incredibly hard pressed, like so hard pressed that they're very hard to work with. I know I'm gonna end up blinding y'all. Let me take this back some and flip it under itself. There we go. Hopefully you guys can still see okay. But they are just very, very, very hard pressed. So it takes a lot of work. Now, have I still continued to use it? Sure. But it's almost like they were hard panned upon me even first getting it. And this is my second palette of this from them. Like I received the original one in PR and loved the color story so much, the layout, the design and everything so much, that I was like, you know I got this for free. And I felt really bad asking. I was like, I know I got this for free, but they did have, I guess, a batch that was like this, that all the shimmers were very hard pressed. And I was like, I know I got it for free, but I love it so much. If I could get a replacement, I'd love to get a replacement. And sadly, this one also came that way. You can get it there. You can work with it. I have found that with shades like this, not even with Nomad, with anybody that happens to. If you go in with an old school sponge applicator, like the old ones, y'all, and the ones that the bougie brands try to use that we don't like. If you go in with those and do a swirling motion, you can get them to work. Like the mattes in this were completely fine. Like, you know, pigmented, very true to like Nomad's formula. But the shimmers, yeah, this was the only palette through all of these, you guys, through all the years of me purchasing and getting PR, the only one I ever had any issues with. I'm still keeping it though, and I still love it. All right, we will go over to this little pile right here. This one right here, hopefully you guys can still see okay. Let me make the pile not so big. This is the Fête de Provence. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. They had this in the past, and then they did their 10-year anniversary and brought this back out by request. Again, beginner friendly. You go here, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. Light to dark. We have a light and a dark, and then a beautiful corresponding shimmer. Beautiful. Love it. Next up, another one of my favorites is the New Zealand Stargazing palette. And I want to say it was either this or the Crown Royal or Crown Jewel one was the first time that they really came out with like some bam, spectacular, like shimmer type shades, multi-duochromes. This is absolutely stunning, you guys. Again, like there's a lot of depth. We can kind of go play in this little corner over here. We've got like the pinky purpley. We've got something for the inner corner. We've got some blending out shades. We've got some really beautiful special, like, hello. Are you kidding me? Some incredibly beautiful, beautiful shades here. This is an all-time favorite, not just from them, but just in general. I love that palette. This is another one that I purchased on my own. This is the, what was it called? I'm pretty sure it was called the Harajuku Nomad Tokyo palette. I did purchase this one myself. And even though this is not a Riri palette, I did want to have something that lent itself to being a little bit more pastelized and something I could use to kind of build on with other palettes that have more depth and stuff in them. So not my favorite, not something I reach to all the time, but I did also want the addition into my collection and stuff like that. But if this is your vibe, like if you're looking for kind of softer, more springy, pastelized, I think this is a beautiful option. I don't actually think this is still available. I think I got it when it was on sale, but I still like it nonetheless, just not something I reach for all the time. This one right here is the Fuji 5 Lakes. Again, it has that beautiful, like very textured, very 3D, like artwork vibe to it. This is another one that I think is absolutely beautiful. And again, I sound like a broken record and I am sorry, but if you're on the fence, you've never tried Nomad, you guys, I feel like across the board, they are one of the most consistent brands, just period. And again, very beginner friendly through and through. I love their color stories. I love everything about them. This is not one of my all-time favorites, but I do love it. I love the packaging. This is the Roll Europe that I was telling y'all about, where they came out with, you know, the beautiful like multi-chrome, duochromes. And again, each row lends itself to being very beginner friendly, and you automatically know, hey, if I go here and here, I have a cohesive look. My only qualm, and I want to say that the past Riri would have also said this when I showcased it on my channel, I like light shades. I also like blending out shades. Like I feel like this mixed with the, oh no, I almost dropped that. Mixed with the Tokyo palette would be beautiful together because we can build up depth here and then blend everything out with this. But the shades that are in here are so, so pretty. And it was kind of the first time that I think that they kind of did shades like this. They also offered these as singles, and I did buy some, and I actually gifted those because I love the brand so much that if I can kind of promote, I'm going to. Yeah, I love this one too. I think it's a standout for them as a brand as well. Next up, we have the America's Parks palette. This is another one that I really, really love. This is another one that's leaning a little bit more kind of neutral with those little bit of pops of like the green and the grunge that I really love. I think this is also a standout palette, and again, very beginner friendly. Next up, this was also a re-release that I missed out on in the past, and then when they did their 10-year anniversary, this is another one that they brought back. This is Berlin Underground. And I've only used it twice since receiving it, but I understand. I understand why you guys wanted to see this come back. I will note, I feel like it's pretty heavy on the like metallics and shimmers, but in saying that, I do think that the mix of the mattes to the shimmers, I think the shades are fine with it. I would have liked to seen one more kind of blending out shade. Other than that though, really, really beautiful. I love this as well. Next up, we have the Polar Express palette. This is another one that I don't reach for all the time just because, I mean, if you guys have watched through the last, I don't know how many hours this video is going to be, I don't always go blue. But this side over here is a little bit more me, but again, it lends itself to being very beginner friendly, and I think it's cohesive and it is also good quality. Next up, I love everything about this palette. It is one of my favorites from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Chicago Speakeasy. This is like a beautiful velvet, very like roaring 20s. I've used this quite a bit and I absolutely love it, which is kind of strange because I don't always, even though, you know, purple eyeshadow and brown eyes, perfection. I don't always reach for like this side over here, but there's something about when I got this palette that I'm just drawn to it, you guys. It's absolutely stunning. One of my top. Next up, another one of my all-time favorites, not just from them, but just in general, is the Hudson Valley palette. This is another one that is a more Riri leaning palette, a lot of warmth, depth, and then a little bit more kind of grunge and stuff like that. I feel like they could kind of redo this. This is a little bit of an older palette. And even though the shimmer shades I feel like do match beautifully in here, I would like to maybe see them kind of redo this, tweak it a little bit, and kind of elevate it some, and give us a little bit more shimmers, if you will. But yeah, other than that, I think it's beautiful. Love it. Last up for this size is the Okavango Safari. And I know you guys cannot see this, but this is like very soft, and it looks like it could be like a hide from an animal. Again, that attention to detail. And again, another me palette, like neutral leaning, but with some depth, with some warmth. I do like the shimmer to the matte, you know, ratio here. Yeah, I love it. Alrighty, let me get these out of my way. And then last up are their little minis. I hate that these did not do very well for them, you guys. Like, I loved these smaller palettes. And the Nomad Air, the travel palette, I love it so much. I purchased one as a backup. That is how damn good this palette is. First of all, I mean, I've used it. I've used it a ton. I take this when I travel. I have used it for myself. I have used it for my niece. I've used it for my sister. And I say that because they're beautiful women of color. But it does go light, medium, deep. And then the shimmer shades kind of correspond with it. Beautifully pigmented. I love it. I absolutely love this. And I say this and speak to this a lot in terms of neutrality and neutral leaning palettes that a lot of people kind of classify as boring. If this did not have like the shimmer shades that it has in it, where they're still sparkly and they're still high shine and stuff like that, maybe I wouldn't love it as much. But because I can get depth here, because of the 3 shades that they chose to kind of go with the shimmer shades and stuff, I just love it, you guys. I sound like a freaking broken record. I love this palette a lot. They came back out with, or did another launch of the Nomad Air, where they did different like destinations. We have one that is more kind of bluey, tealy leaning. This one is super, super nice. Again, it lends itself to being very beginner friendly, very travel friendly, which was kind of like the whole purpose of the collection. I think that they did it very, very well, very thoughtfully. This was kind of a very like muted, a little bit more cool tone palette. And then last but not least, we have a beautiful, very rich, warm leaning palette. Again, perfect for travel. And again, perfect for light skin, medium skin, and darker skin. I loved these, y'all. I loved these. I still love them. I still swear by them. Not getting rid of any of these. Let me go get my Gourmande Girls palettes. Y'all go get another drink. I'm going to get another drink too. It's already getting dark outside. I just looked out my window. Oh my gosh, I've been here for hours. Yeah, I love you guys. I'll BRB. And last but not least is Gourmande Girls. Again, I'll just kind of quickly go through these. I am not decluttering any of them. I will note, I paid for this. I got one in PR a long time ago and then repurchased. I repurchased this. And I've repurchased this. She puts things on sale and gifted them and things like that. And I was a fan and purchased for many years prior to being on the PR list. I do receive PR from her. And I have an affiliated code with Gourmande Girls. It is RIRI10 for 10% off. If you are unfamiliar, if you may be new to the space, if you're unfamiliar with affiliated versus not, if it is affiliated, that means when you make a purchase and you use my code, I do receive a small commission. If it is not affiliated, that solely means I receive PR. And if you guys use the code is just for y'all. First up is Spooked. And I love all the palettes like this. I love that she kind of switched over to these. I love all the longer palettes like this. I just aesthetically I like them. They stack well, they're thin. And I love this. I love that it is a little bit more kind of murky. Also, it's a little bit more depthy. It's perfect for like fall, you know, spooky season, things like that. I like that it goes very dark and it goes very light. I like the blend of the shimmer formula to the matte formula as well. Next up is Nueva Vida. And again, I have looks with every single one of these palettes. You can just type in, you know, The Brutally Honest Beauty and then whatever the palette name is. This one, what I was saying earlier, that I knew I had a couple of more like neon-esque type of shades and a little bit more pastelized shades in some of the Gourmande Girls palettes. This is one of those. Next up is Frozen Kiss. And this one is another one that is so beautiful, you guys, and not generally something I gravitate to because it's got a little bit more kind of blues and purples and stuff. But there's something about using these and then kind of blending them out with these, and then these have, and then the shimmer formula is also very special. There's a lot of like hollow chromes in here and stuff too. And again, I know not everybody likes that, and we like what we like, and there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. But this is a super special palette. I think it is stunning, you guys. I love this as well. Next up is Haunted. And this is another one that's a little bit more kind of grunge, murky, but then there's still like some pops of like the pink and the purple. I like that this one doesn't just lend itself to being more Halloween spooky season. I would use this year round, obviously. Y'all know I do tons of worms and stuff like that, and then tons of like grunge, murky greens. This is absolutely stunning. Again, I like the variation in tone here. I would like in this particular palette to have something a little lighter, like a blending out shade. That's personal preference. Otherwise though, I love it. Next up is Bitten. And this one is a little bit more like pretty much dark all the way around other than these two shades and then our kind of inner corner pop. But this one's very like moody, very like romantic, but like Victorian-esque. There's something special about it. I really, really love this color story. And as you guys can kind of see, even though they kind of have the same variation of tone in some of these, none of these are the exact same. And I do have like, again, videos and stuff like that. Like when I showcased Trapped and Nevermore and stuff, I did put a comparison up. So if you have, you know, quite a few, I think you would still appreciate a newer launch from them that had kind of similar colors in it. Yeah, I love her formula as well. Like I was saying earlier, I think that she also has a really nice, consistent formula, and she's come a long way. Like whatever this formula is that she's used in the last couple of years, perfection. This is the Trapped palette. She also came out with a full collection for Trapped. This is another one that, you know, there's like some darkness, some richness, a little pop of like a purple or a green in here, maybe a pop of a pink, but they're so unique and different to the next one that, like I said, if you own quite a few, you would still appreciate them. At my time of filming too, they just announced that they are rebranding, and she did kind of showcase her new logo and stuff. I think I'm going to like the route that she's going to go. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more elevated, a little bit more kind of sophisticated, if you will, and I love that. I'm all about change and growth and progression. Next up is the Nevermore palette. And I absolutely love this one too. This one's a little bit different in terms of like being a little bit more kind of grunge murky. And then there's some super beautiful special shades in here as well. Like I went crazy over the shade, y'all. Like this is absolutely stunning. Again, I would like to see a light, bright inner corner shade and one more light blending out shade. You can use these two. Again, that's personal preference, and that's just me kind of saying, you know, if you're new here, if you're new to Gourmande Girls or, you know, any of the palettes, any of the brands, it's just me kind of saying, you know, if you're on the hunt for something, maybe this was something that I would change if you do have similar preferences to me. Next up is Nightshade. This is another one that I love all of them. This is another one that I really, really love. Here, it lends itself to being a little bit more kind of, you know, soft and like very feminine and romantic, if you will. And then leading into the grunge part of it, I think it's super, super beautiful. It's very moody, just very romantic. I really, really love this. It's like romantic, but moody, a little bit of grunge, super beautiful. Again, very dark. the light shades that I'm looking for blending out, and a beautiful pop for the inner corner. Love these to get, it's perfection. It's absolutely stunning. Next up is Silent Night. At my time of filming, I'll try to update on the screen for you guys. I'm hoping you guys will see this in the next few days. This is on clearance. So this is the Silent Night palette. Another one that I've used quite a bit. And I love that this is what it says. It's a very winter-esque, very kind of cool toned, like going into blues and stuff like that. A little bit of neutrality. We got the pop of the yellow. We have something light and bright for the inner corner. We have light to dark. It's absolutely beautiful. Next up, we have a collaboration palette that I did with Gourmande Girls many years ago. I hopefully am going to collab with her one day, like just me, not being selfish, but that would be a privilege, you guys. That would be awesome. This is called That Time of the Year, and it was, I have not used this yet. I did pass on my one that was used and loved. I'm not going to touch this. I'm not going to get rid of this. I think we did a beautiful job here. We wanted to go holiday, winter-esque, but not scream Christmas, but not just be like reddy greeny. We wanted a little bit of pops of like iciness and stuff like that. I think that we did a really good job here. We had light to dark, we had some depth, we had like shimmers to kind of correspond with everything. We had light bright shades. I love this. I think we did a good job. Next up is another all-time favorite, not just from her, just I love it, just in general, is the Calavera palette. And even though this is not something that I'm going to reach for all the time because it's a little bit more depthy and a little bit more, you know, Halloween, if you will, spooky season, if you will, I love that kind of for her, this is the first time to my recollection that she kind of went full on like kind of pastelized. She also incorporated some of the neons and stuff like that, but not a lot of what Gourmande Girls does is like more pastelized and soft. And I liked the variation here that it goes very light to very dark. There is something to build upon each kind of color story, as you can kind of see in there. And then again, the shimmer formulations, there's not a ton of shimmers in here, but the shimmers that are in here go beautifully with the rest of the palette. I love this one, you guys. Next up is the Galactic Gourmande. Again, like I said, I had it previously and I loved it so much that I went ahead and repurchased it. So I have not used this one just yet, but it's really, really beautiful. I love an all shimmer palette like you guys know, so absolutely love this. Radioactive is the same thing. It is a beautiful all shimmer color story. And I like, again, that it goes like light to dark. I honestly, if this were not like a PR brand that I kind of get PR and stuff from, I feel like that DD Signature one that I have, I feel like it runs the gamut of all of like the shimmers that I could ever possibly need, but I'm still going to keep this. Again, I love the formula and I like that it goes, you know, it's got reds, blues, purples, pinks and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely holding on to all of these, of course, but I did want to note that. Next up is the Call of the Sirens. She also came out with a beautiful blush palette, like blush and highlight palette that I use all the time. And I love this. There's something that's just very beautiful, very moody. I love this. I think it's absolutely stunning, you guys. It's kind of like jeweled, but like amped up a little bit. It's got some depth to it. I like the, you know, the shimmers to the matte ratio in here. I like the shimmers that were chosen to go with the mattes. This is stunning. And then this paired with the blush, whoo, beautiful. Next up is the Mocha Moment palette. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more subdued, but still with a little bit of depth and a little bit of variation, you can kind of still go like more neutral leaning, but then you've got like more cool tones. Those kind of like plummy, like I could just call them romantic, like romantic type shades. But then we've got a little bit of grunge. Again, I think it pairs beautifully with all the shimmers that are in here. I also feel like she does have a very beginner friendly like formula, a consistent formula. And I know that for some people, these are my vibe. I know they're not everybody's, but I know in like a lot of these palettes, I know when you're looking at them, they can seem a little bit intimidating. But I feel like if you kind of break it down within like the palette, let me kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Like say even with like Nightshade, I know for some people, if you look at this, you're like, whew, I don't know what to do. Like it looks disjointed, or maybe to you, you don't really, you know, you don't look at it and you're not inspired by it. For me personally, when I do look at a palette like that, which I think it's well done, it goes light to dark. I know that all the purples and the black and the gray pair well, the greens pair well, the yellow and the greens, so on and so forth. I feel like if you look at a palette, any palette, whatever the case may be, especially if you're a beginner or you don't maybe understand or you're not super well versed on like color combinations and things like that, if you look at the palette and then you say, what color families am I seeing? So in here, I'm seeing obviously very deep dark, very cool toned, and I'm seeing purple. So for me personally, my eye automatically is going to take me to, ooh, I could use this with this and this. If I need a blending out shade, I'll pop over here because these are also cool tone and kind of in that purple family. Then I'm going to go here and here because these are darker and these are darker shimmers. If I'm playing with the purples, I'm going to go here, here, and here because of that. If I'm playing with the yellows, I automatically know I can go here and here. Yellow and green play beautifully together, so I could, hopefully that makes sense. In terms of if you're trying to break down a palette and you are intimidated by it, I feel like that's a really easy way to kind of unafraid yourself, y'all. If you look at it and break it down in color, color stories within that particular palette. That was a real long-winded way of saying hopefully what made sense to you guys. Couple more, you guys, and then we will wrap it up, and I will let you guys know the full total of everything that we decluttered from earlier. Next up is the Secret Grove palette. And this is not my favorite, but it is my favorite, and I know that doesn't make any damn sense. Like, there's only a couple shimmers in here. For me, I like it because of like the greens in here, and in like that peach with the green, like the sorbet type shade with the greens, I love. And then I do like this and this together. I've worn like this and this together with that on the inner corner. I feel like I definitely have a preference for me personally for these palettes, just color story wise, the way that they're laid out and stuff like that, but still beautiful nonetheless. Next up is the Gourmandises palette. And this is another one that's really, lending itself to being a little bit more pastelized, a little bit more kind of spring forward, if you will. I really think this is beautifully done as well. And again, if you're looking at this and to you it seems, okay, this doesn't make sense or this is scary, break it down by those color stories. I have a green and a green and a green. Automatically, I know I can play with these together. Automatically, if I'm playing with kind of purple tones, I'm going to come here, here, and here. I can also pop this with the purples. I can also use this with like my more bluey, gray shades. If I'm going in and I want to go slightly more neutral, I can kind of go here and here. So hopefully what I was saying makes sense to you guys, because I understand, I feel like more specifically with mainstream kind of everyday palettes, they're kind of laid out in a way that, we don't get kind of confused or we don't get overwhelmed. Whereas obviously, and the reason I love indie brands and indie palettes is because they're not the run-of-the-mill. They are different and bold and unique. So if you have kind of stayed away from like the indie spectrum because of that, hopefully watching this makes you kind of see the palettes in a different light. And then last, oh my goodness, but not least, is the Peach Perfect palette. This is another one that is a me palette. I absolutely love this color story. Again, light to dark. I love the variation of tone in here. And again, if I'm breaking it down, I would go here, 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 and here, deepen it up with this. I can do all my different greens, deepen it up with this. So yeah, I love this as well. Let me count up everything that I've decluttered and everything that I was keeping. Keep in mind, none of, like the PR palettes are going anywhere. Let me come back with some totals and I'll wrap things up. All right, for our totals from earlier, I kept 44 and decluttered 35. Keep in mind too, that is not my luxury palettes. That declutter was already up. So I kept 44 and decluttered 35. That is it. Thank you guys so much. What did you guys think? How do you think I did? I'd love to know. Are some of these some of your favorite brands? Are any of these your favorite palettes? Are any of these on your wish list? And I'd also like to know, what are your all-time favorite brands, specifically your favorite indie brands? Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy, and subscribe. I'd love to have you be part of my beauty family over on the YouTubes. I appreciate you beauties so much. You can hype the video, you can turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and you can tap the join button down below to become a channel member for some exclusive perks. I love you all. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties!